This is not the first opportunity we've had to discuss the case of Jonathan Pollard with the father, Dr. Morris Pollard, who's a professor at Notre Dame. Morris, I can't say really, it's a pleasure to see you here. I wish we weren't talking right now about the plight of Jonathan Pollard. All of us who really are concerned about this case would hope that he is in Mitzpah Ramon or living somewhere in Israel comfortably.
He has been abused severely. I think there are many factors involved in the process of getting him into prison. Many facets of it, starting with the prosecutor and his lawyer, the attitude of the Israeli government, the things that he inadvertently revealed that almost guaranteed him to be buried.
Mm-hmm. And over the years we've discussed, Morris, the fact that the information that was given to Israel was really not that detrimental, as at least we know it, to the United States. On the contrary, you would have thought that the U.S. intelligence would have given this information to Israel as a friend.
Well, Phil, the information that Johnny called him Jay, gave to Israel was information that Israel was supposed to have received on the basis of a treaty of the interchange of information vital to the security of each state. And there were renegades within the intelligence community and in the State Department who were intent on rearming Iraq, an illegal rearming of Iraq with weapons of mass destruction, which is against international mandates, against Congress that forbid any such actions going on, and it was a covert action. And having been in an office, he could compare what they were handing to Israel and what was the truth. And he felt compelled. He went to the head of the intelligence community and protested it, a man named Admiral Shapiro, who told him, forget about it, we Jews are worried too much about poison gas. And he decided he couldn't wait. You know, there's a Nuremberg law that if you know that some people are going to be massacred and don't have advance notice of it, you are compelled to tell them about it. And having told Israel about the information, the fraudulent information that they were getting, can you imagine their reaction to comparing it with the information they were getting through channels? They were being led like sheep to the slaughter.
One would ask then, we'll talk somewhat about the Israeli involvement after the fact, Jewish leadership, if there is such a thing, after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, the outgoing presidents, the senior George Bush and Clinton, had the opportunity to let your son go. And would one then come to the equation that the intelligence infrastructure has more power than the president? Why were they able to convince Clinton not to let Jonathan go?
Clinton was I think one of the most outrageous presidents that we've ever had. He told Jay to apply for parole, and his Justice Department, I have a copy of the letter they sent to the parole board demanding that they turn him down. This is what you call real duplicity on a part of Clinton. It's not unusual.
Why do you think Clinton did that?
I can't figure out what goes through a demented mind. I don't know. But he was a devious liar. I can't figure him out. I voted for him twice. I felt that coming into the White House would bring fresh air into the environment. And actually what came into the environment was sewer gas. He, in my mind, was one of the most devious, dishonest presidents we've ever had. Can you imagine he led Israel into almost a disastrous arrangement with Ehud Barak?
Well, fortunately, that didn't work. Let's take time out, Morris. We'll come back. I want to talk to you about Israel.
Yes.
And Jonathan, and about Jewish leadership in America and Jonathan Pollard. We'll be right back. Our guest is Dr. Morris Pollard. Let's talk about Jewish America and what help you and Jonathan have received from what we might classify as some form of leadership. Where has been the support?
There are two levels of support and lack of support. The worst support, or let's say the best support, came from the Zionist Organization of America, Hadassah, and in later years from B'nai B'rith. The worst support came from the Jewish war veterans, vicious. The worst support came from Anti-Defamation League. Friends of mine suggested that we put out a report looking for members of the ADL because there's evidence of anti-Semitism therein.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously the issue here for Jewish community organizations is you have to be an American first, and in this particular case one would then inadvertently question one's allegiance to the
I would say that what Jonathan did was American first. Because he honored the treaty, which was more than you can say about Weinberger and Inman and that whole crowd.
Jonathan Pollard, new book out by Mark Shaw, an attorney turned author, gives more in-depth than obviously we could discuss here on our program today. We encourage people to get the book. You told me it's well written. I haven't read it. But I assume as the father of Jonathan Pollard, you know that it has some insight, further insight into the case. All of us who are concerned, and I hope that that number grows, continues to grow. It's been a long plight, Morris. It's very hard for a father to have to deal with this.
I don't know if you've heard. My wife would have been here today with me, but 11 days ago she died. But there was a great disappointment that she talked about a great deal, and that was our failure to raise sufficient ransom money to pay off Clinton for clemency.
Sad commentary. There's some really sad notes here with regards to Jonathan Pollard.
I'm consumed by fury, and I have to control it.
But the end of this is, the end is to get your son out of jail to Israel.
I hope
correct?
to get him out of jail before I die.
Well,
my wife was so anxious that this happened because she knew she was sick, and this was a great disappointment to her. She waited every day for someone to say, he's in Israel.
Morris, I wish you, obviously, it's not enough words. The words are too weak to just say, we wish you the best and we want Jonathan out.
You've been a constant supporter, Phil.
In these particular cases, even calling past presidents to plead with them on the phone doesn't seem to do any good because there is some sickness in our society. And the unfortunate thing about this story, Morris, about your son is it brings the sickness to the surface. We hope that sickness dissipates and your son is living in Israel very, very soon.
I thank you.